Yo, brother, it's time for us to start talking the real, man. We've been sugarcoating too much. We've got to start calling everything out for what it is.
Hey guys. Wow. I'm off on a mountain ride with my Master Pro with my new Clark pad protection system. This will be the first time that I'm riding with it, and also with the Adam G CNC pedals. So I kind of feel like I have a new wheel here, and this is going to be an exciting ride for me as I'm leaving on this mountain ride actually from my home. I'm not driving there, so I'll tell you a bit more about it in a second. I'm heading out of my neighborhood. I live about half a mile from one of the Los Angeles Basin riverbeds, and all the riverbeds in the Southern California area have bike trails built into them on the sides. Beautiful riding. Just takes me a few minutes to get to the river trail. From there, just from this river trail system, I have access to about 100 miles of riding on beautiful paved trails. And you know, that's where I'm headed right now. So I'm going to jump on a river, and I'll tell you more about what I'm going to do when I get there. Okay, so the plan today is to take a ride up into the mountains, which I do a lot of, but as you saw, I'm actually leaving from my home. Normally I drive 20, depending on where I'm riding the mountains, of course, but minimally 20 miles to get to a junction where I'll take off and go on a 90, 100 mile ride or less. But this Master Pro is such an incredible wheel. I mean, a huge motor and battery, but yet it still is efficient. You know, I'm gonna actually do a range test on this wheel. I need to build up to it though, and partly it's been the weather hasn't been that great. And this is mid-December right now, holiday season. Kind of busy with some other stuff too, so it's hard to get in the time for a 4,800 watt hour range test. On your left. Thank you. Now, I've been wanting to do this kind of a ride for a long time. I mean, it'd just be great to be able to leave from my house and go up into the mountains and come back and never get in the car, right? And to do it at a fairly fast pace too. Now, originally I was going to try probably a 100-mile ride today, but recently the whole California had some big storm systems come through, and the mountains now are covered in snow. So unfortunately my long routes in the mountains are snowed over, they're closed. So it kind of limits me. So instead I'm going to do a partial ride up to Mount Baldy, which is a beautiful ride, one of the favorite rides in Southern California. most people think. So I'm going to do that instead. So today will probably be only 70 to 80 miles. I got a late start. It's after 11 in the morning. Days are short, of course. Sunset's about 4:30. As soon as I put the camera away, because it's hard to ride with a 9-foot pole at higher speeds, but as soon as I put the camera away, I'm going to be riding, well, today hopefully between 25 and 30, higher 20s probably, so I can get the whole thing done and get back home before sunset. And we'll see how it goes. I'll bring you along, show you how the battery's performing, and I'll tell you a little bit about what I think about this Master Pro so far, and why I think it's probably my new all-time favorite wheel, at least for this month. Okay, I'm on top of the Santa Fe Dam. Got here in no time. I love this whale. I've been going high 20s, maybe up to 32. I noticed a couple times. And probably about 20 miles into the ride. You know, I think back, I can't help but think back to when I started over 6 years ago, 6.5 years ago. First couple wheels I had, my big rides were a total of about maybe 25 miles, and I wasn't sure if I could make it. And needless to say, not going 30 miles an hour. The amount of progress we have made with electric unicycles is incredible. Everyone who's started in the last few years, you just don't realize really how good you have it compared to the old days. But of course we didn't know any better, so it was all fun. And you know, just to get up here once from home, I remember when I had a bigger wheel. I think that's maybe when I got my Mazda. I started doing rides like 40 to 50 mile rides, and that was such a big deal. Yeah, it's just, and this Master Pros, I just love it to be able to do this. So might be able to see the mountains, much closer to the mountains now. Beautiful, snow-capped. We'll see what the conditions are when I get up there. how far I can go before the roads are closed, if they are. I guess we'll see. I got another, probably at least another 5+ miles until I get to the base of the Glendora Mountain Ridge Road, which goes up to Mount Baldy. Spectacular ride. If you ever come out to Southern California, I can take you on it. It'll be one of the most memorable rides you've ever had. And it's beautiful in the winter with the snow up there too. Well, I've made it up to, let's see, 70 kilometers. My phone's a little messed up right now. I don't have the miles enabled. So whatever 70 kilometers is, it's probably, I'm going to guess, 35 to 40 miles into the ride. What the hell? Get my phone out. Okay, pretty close. 38 miles. And I've climbed about almost 3,400 feet. So if I go back exactly the way I came, it'll be an 80-mile ride. But I'm definitely going to be going farther. And my battery's at 66%, 121 volts. 116 volts is 50% on the Master Pro. Gorgeous. Look at the mountains behind me there. or in front of me. Snow-capped. I thought there might be snow here. Well, actually, there is snow here in all the shady spots, and I've been riding through a few patches of black ice, which is always fun. I think I'm going to keep going up north for a bit, but then I think I'll turn around and come back and go down this way, down into the valley, before starting to kind of head on home. It's cold. Now, mind you, I'm Southern Californian, right? So I started the ride, it was in the low 60s. It's probably in the low 50s or high 40s right now at this elevation. But not a cloud in the sky, so it's just that the sun really helps. But that's why I'm wearing wool gloves. So 2 wool sweaters. So actually I'm pretty warm, except for parts of my face. Guys, I love this Master Pro. It's just such a wonderful experience to ride. The suspension. I'm using the stock suspension, and as I speak, I don't have any plans on changing it. I might upgrade the linkages, and Scotway Bigode has released the CNC files for new linkages, which allow you to get more range out of your shock. So I might do that. I don't know, but the way I'm riding right now, this wheel is just so comfortable for cruising. I'm not having any issues with it bottoming out. I like the softness. It reminds me of my Master with the coil shock, or the Sherman S, actually. It reminds me very much of the Sherman S. So I don't have much bad things to say about this Master Pro yet. Probably the weight's the biggest thing. There's no way you are going to lift this wheel. Wait for this motorcycle to pass. Yeah, this thing's I just weighed it this morning. I was curious after I put the pads on, the Clark pads. It's 121 pounds, almost 122 pounds. So that's a lot of weight. I definitely use the ramp to put it into my truck, and I use the ramp to take it out of my truck. So I think I will go onward and up for a little bit, and I'll talk to you a little bit later. Well, I think this is where I'm going to stop. It's getting more and more of this, and it's going to get worse as you get higher in elevation. Fortunately, they are looking like someone is spreading gravel on the really bad sections in the corners. But still a little treacherous when you're on one wheel. So, and it's starting to get a little late too. I got at least 50 miles to get back home, so I think I'm going to turn around. Definitely a little slippery on the ground right now.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin, mother and child, holy so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, shepherds quake at the sight, and glory stream from heaven afar. Heavenly hosts sing hallelujah. Christ the Savior is born. 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 Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace.
Well, that's an example of being too heavy and trying to catch it with one hand. Ain't gonna happen. Fortunately, I got all my pads on it now, so I'm not too worried about stuff like that. Take a little break from riding. Normally I have a lot of cold drinks with me, but today is hot chocolate. This is gonna be good. Whew. It's chilly. So I'm down in the canyon now, and it'll be probably 10 miles to get out of the canyon. So it'll be chilly down here. Sun's not even getting down here much. There's a river behind me. Don't know if you can hear it. Let's see. Check the stats here. I'm 54 miles into the ride. So, it'll be interesting how many miles I get back. And I'm at 68 or 60%, about 118 volts on the wheel. So, I think I'll make it home fine, because actually the whole way here has mostly been uphill, because where I start from my home on a riverbed, well, river water flows downhill, right? So it's been a continuous slog up here, and the way home is going to be mostly downhill, which will definitely help with the battery. I just love this Master Pro. If any of you are out there like me that just really enjoy long rides, I just can't see why you wouldn't want to invest in the Master Pro. I mean, it's a game changer wheel. It's like when the original Monster came out, that was a game changer. The first 2400 watt hour wheel, when the biggest ones before that were 1600 watt hour. And then of course subsequently we've had the 3200 watt hour, 3600 watt hour, and now 4800 watt hour. And I think there's actually room. I think there's more capacity to put even a bigger battery on a wheel. I don't think, after riding this, I don't think we've reached the limit. I think you could probably put another 1800 watt hours of battery in a wheel like this, I suspect. We'll see. But yeah, I've got nothing bad to say about this wheel. I just love it. The only problems I've had with it so far, and this is a problem with unfortunately the Master, at least the Master, I'm not sure about the T4, is the LED the display does not turn on in cold temperatures. Now actually, if it does get on, it stays on even if it's cold. So when I started this morning, got the wheel out of my workshop, it wasn't cold enough to keep the display from turning on. So it's been running all the time, but I have had a few rides where it's not been on for a while, and I'm not the only one. This is a known Gotway. Bigode has a fix for it. You have to install some new hardware, get that from your dealer. I'm just not going to worry about it. I don't use the display that much. I was able to change the display to Imperial, so I can read miles now instead of being stuck with kilometers. This is the first Gotway Bigode wheel that I've ever had that's had that display capabilities. So pretty happy about that. Well, I'm just going to warm up with some more hot chocolate here. Give my legs a little bit of a rest, though they don't need too much with the suspension. And then I'll head home. I don't think I'll film any of my ride home, but as soon as I say goodbye right here, a few seconds later, you'll see me either at home or approaching home, and I'll give you the final stats for the ride, what my battery was, and so forth. So hope you guys are enjoying the riding wherever you are in the world this time of year, mid-December. I suspect a lot of you guys have a lot worse weather than I have right now, even though I say I'm freezing. It's probably still in the 50s here. All right, guys. See you in a few seconds at home. Well, I made it home. Let me turn off the light here. And you can hear the annoying well, it won't be quiet. So all right, this thing's annoying. 103.6 volts, 20%. Now I'm gonna get away from this wheel. So 20%, that's assuming that tilt back voltage is 96 volts, and according to the specs, that's what it is on this wheel. It starts beeping at 106 volts. Now on the Master, an 134 volt wheel, you're walking at 104 volts, and I can confirm that. So I guess I could go another. That's probably. I mean, and no matter how slow you go, that thing beeps, which is kind of annoying. So I was basically going about 15 miles an hour the last 5 miles probably, and based on the voltage, I don't know, maybe I could go another 10 miles more. When I do my full range test, I'll find out how rapidly it drops from 103 volts to 96. We'll see. But definitely would be annoying to ride 50 miles an hour with that beeping. Fortunately, most people don't. Most pedestrians don't know what the beeping means. So, like at least I feel kind of like embarrassed. Like I hate riding around people when it's beeping like this. But most people don't know what the beeping means. So. Anyway, so 106 volts, basically about 25% battery. If you go by percentages, it's fun till then. Then you got the beeps. Oh well. So now 92 miles. I'll throw up the stats on the screen. 92 miles. When I was riding, moving, I felt like I was 27 to 30 miles an hour wheel speed. It'd be slower GPS. According to my stats, my max GPS speed was 29 today. But I mean, I was doing this just, all day. Climbed about 4,500 feet. Back home, so you can see I left home, suburbia, and you saw where I was. Man, that's just awesome to be able to do that on a wheel and to ride fast. I feel like I'm spoiled now. I just don't know. I don't know when am I going to ride my Sherman or my Monster Pro or my Commander 3,600 watt-hour wheels. I could do what I did today based on the mileage. I could have done that with my other 3,600 watt-hour wheels, but I would have been going much slower. Probably my max speed would have been in 22 miles per hour. And once you get used to riding fast at a faster pace, it's kind of hard to go back slower. I mean, I'm sure I can, but yeah, I'm getting spoiled on this wheel is really spoiling me. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this little adventure, a little insight into the kind of fun you could have with a Master Pro if you feel like adding that to your collection. Until next time, safe riding.